What if Anakin reshaped the Empire's future? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. Mustafar. Obi-Wan stands over Anakin's burning body, his brother, his apprentice, dying in the flames. He turns to leave, then stops. One choice, one moment of mercy, changes everything. Obi-Wan reaches out with the Force and pulls Anakin from the fire. This decision, this single act of saving a life instead of letting it end, reshapes the entire galaxy. Because Anakin Skywalker doesn't die on Mustafar. He survives, broken, scarred, haunted by what he's done, but alive. And years later, he becomes something Palpatine never expected. Not Vader, not a Sith Lord serving the Empire. Something far more dangerous. A weapon turned against its master, the Phantom, hunting Imperial officers, building a rebellion from within, working to destroy everything Palpatine built, all while hiding one secret. His children survived. Luke and Leia are alive, and Anakin is fighting to give them a galaxy worth living in. But first, he has to tear down an empire. This is the story of how one act of mercy on Mustafar led to the Empire's fall. How the Chosen One finally brought balance. Not through the dark side, through redemption. Mustafar burns beneath a sky choked with ash and fire. Anakin Skywalker lies on the black sand shore, his body destroyed, limbs severed, flesh burning. Every breath is agony. Above him, Obi-Wan Kenobi stands frozen, tears streaming down his face, his lightsaber trembling in his hand. "You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you." The words break something inside Obi-Wan. He deactivates his lightsaber and turns away, unable to bear the sight any longer. But as he takes his first step toward his ship, the Force whispers to him. A tremor, a possibility, a future that branches from this moment if he makes a different choice. Obi-Wan stops. He's spent his entire life trusting the Force, following where it leads even when the path seems impossible. And now it's telling him something that goes against every instinct screaming in his mind. Save him. Obi-Wan turns back and looks at Anakin's burning body, at the flames consuming what little remains. In minutes, there will be nothing left. He closes his eyes and reaches out with both hands, using the Force to pull Anakin away from the lava. The broken body slides across the black sand, leaving a trail of blood. "I'm sorry, brother." Obi-Wan kneels beside him. "I can't leave you like this." "You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you." The words come out broken, choked with grief that threatens to consume him entirely. Obi-Wan deactivates his lightsaber and clips it to his belt. He turns away, unable to bear the sight of what he's done, what he's been forced to do. But as he takes his first step toward his ship, something stops him. A tremor in the Force. Not a cry for help, not a plea for mercy. Something else entirely. A whisper of possibility, a thread of potential futures branching out from this moment, this choice. Obi-Wan has spent his entire life trusting the Force, following where it leads, even when the path seems impossible. And now, here, in the worst moment of his life, the Force is telling him something that goes against every instinct screaming in his mind. He turns back and looks at Anakin's burning body. The flames are consuming him, eating away at what little remains. In minutes, perhaps seconds, there will be nothing left but ash and bone. Obi-Wan closes his eyes and reaches out with the Force. He feels Anakin's presence, that blazing sun of power that has always defined him, now flickering like a candle in a storm. But it hasn't gone out. Not yet. Despite everything Anakin has done, every atrocity, every betrayal, Obi-Wan cannot leave him here to die like this. Perhaps it's weakness, perhaps it's sentimentality, or perhaps it's the will of the Force itself. He reaches out with both hands and uses the Force to pull Anakin away from the flames. The body slides across the black sand, leaving a trail of blood and ash. Obi-Wan approaches and kneels beside his former apprentice. Up close, the damage is even worse than he thought. Anakin's face is burned beyond recognition on one side. His mechanical arm is half melted. His legs are gone below the knees. How he's still alive is a mystery even the Force cannot fully explain. "I'm sorry, brother. I can't leave you like this. I won't." Obi-Wan lifts Anakin with the Force, cradling the broken body as gently as he can, and carries him toward his ship. Every step feels like a betrayal of everything the Jedi stand for. Every step feels like the only right thing he could possibly do. This one choice, this one moment of mercy, this single decision to save a life rather than let it end, changes everything. The journey to Polis Massa takes hours that feel like days. Obi-Wan sits in the cockpit, hyperspace streaming past the viewport, while Anakin lies in the medical bay behind him. The ship's basic medical systems are keeping him alive, barely. Bacta injections, oxygen, pain suppressors. But it's not enough. Not nearly enough. Obi-Wan keeps reaching out through the Force, monitoring Anakin's fading life signs, willing him to hold on just a little longer. When they finally emerge from hyperspace near the asteroid field that houses Polis Massa, Obi-Wan immediately opens a comm channel. "This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have a critical medical emergency. I need a full surgical team standing by. I'm coming in fast." The response comes quickly. "Master Kenobi, we're receiving your transmission. Medical bay is being prepared. But I need to inform you that Senator Amidala is here. She's in labor, and there are complications." Obi-Wan's heart clenches. Padme. She's here. She's giving birth, and she's in danger. He pushes the engines harder, the ship screaming through space toward the medical facility. The asteroid base looms ahead, a cluster of domes and structures built into the rock. Obi-Wan doesn't bother with standard docking procedures. He brings the ship in too fast, too hard, landing with a jarring crash that sends sparks flying from the landing struts. Medical droids are already waiting as the ramp lowers. They rush aboard and immediately begin working on Anakin, their sensors scanning the extent of his injuries. Severe burns covering approximately 65% of body surface area, multiple limb amputations, extensive internal damage, blood loss critical. This patient requires immediate emergency surgery. They load Anakin onto a repulsor gurney and rush him into the facility. Obi-Wan follows, his mind torn between his fallen apprentice and the woman he knows is somewhere in this facility, fighting for her life and the lives of her children. A medical coordinator, a human woman with kind eyes and tired features, approaches him. "Master Jedi, we'll do everything we can for your patient. But I need you to know that Senator Amidala is in critical condition. The medical droids believe she's lost the will to live. Her vital signs are failing, despite no physical cause we can identify. Take me to her." Obi-Wan's voice is harder than he intends. "Please." The coordinator leads him through sterile white corridors to another medical bay. Inside, Padme lies on a surgical table, her pregnant belly obvious even through the medical gown. Her face is pale, her breathing shallow. Medical droids work around her, monitoring, adjusting, trying everything they can think of. Obi-Wan approaches and takes her hand. "Padme, can you hear me?" Her eyes flutter open. They're unfocused, distant, as if she's already halfway to somewhere else. "Obi-Wan," she whispers, "is Anakin?" He hesitated, not knowing what to say, what truth to offer. "He's here. He's alive. I brought him here." Something changes in her eyes. A spark of something that might be hope, or might be despair. I felt him in the Force. I felt him fall. I felt him burning. The baby. Padme's hand moves to her stomach. Babies. Plural. Obi-Wan says gently. The droids believe you're carrying twins. Twins. A ghost of a smile crosses her face. He would have loved that. He will love that. You need to hold on, Padme. Your children need you. I can't. There's something inside me. Something broken. I can feel it. I'm dying, Obi-Wan. Then fight. Obi-Wan's grip on her hand tightens. You've always been a fighter. Don't stop now. The medical droids interrupt. Master Jedi, we need to begin the delivery immediately. The infants are in distress. Obi-Wan steps back and watches as they prepare Padme for an emergency delivery. In another medical bay, visible through a transparisteel window, other droids are working on Anakin. The two people he cares about most in the galaxy, both fighting for their lives, separated by a thin wall and an ocean of tragedy. The next hours blur together in a haze of medical procedures and desperate hope. Obi-Wan watches as Padme gives birth to a boy and then a girl, Luke and Leia. Beautiful, perfect, crying, with the outraged fury of new life. The medical droids clean them, check them, and declare them healthy. But Padme's vital signs continue to drop. Obi-Wan holds her hand as the droids work frantically to stabilize her. In the other bay, Anakin is in surgery. The medical team is reconstructing what they can, replacing what they can't. Cybernetic limbs, synthetic skin grafts, neural interfaces to help his brain adapt to the new mechanical parts. It's experimental technology, cutting edge, and there's no guarantee it will work. But it's all they have. Dawn comes to Polis Massa, though on this airless asteroid, it's just an arbitrary change in the station's chronometer. Obi-Wan hasn't slept. He's been moving between the two medical bays, monitoring both patients, doing what little he can, which is nothing. He can only watch and wait and trust in the skill of the medical team. Finally, a droid approaches him. Master Kenobi. The surgeries are complete. Senator Amidala's condition has stabilized, but she remains unconscious. And the other patient. Your patient is out of surgery. The cybernetics have been successfully integrated. He should regain consciousness soon. But I must warn you that the pain will be significant. We've done what we can, but there are limits to how much we can block without risking brain damage. Obi-Wan nods, too tired to speak. He goes first to Padme's room. She lies still and pale, but her breathing is stronger now. The twins are in small cribs beside her bed, swaddled and sleeping. Obi-Wan touches their small hands, marveling at their tiny fingers, their perfect features. They look like Padme. But when Luke opens his eyes briefly, Obi-Wan sees Anakin's blue gaze staring back at him. Then he goes to the other medical bay. Anakin lies on the bed, his body wrapped in bandages and surrounded by medical equipment. His new arms and legs are clearly mechanical, though covered in synthetic skin that will hopefully look more natural once the swelling goes down. His face is scarred on the left side, the burns too severe to fully repair, but his features are still recognizable. He's still Anakin, despite everything. As Obi-Wan watches, Anakin's eyes open. They're yellow at first, touched by the dark side. But as Anakin blinks and focuses, they slowly fade back to blue. The confusion in them is heartbreaking. Where? His voice is a rasp, damaged by smoke inhalation. Where am I? Polis Massa. Obi-Wan moves closer. You're safe. Anakin tries to sit up, but gasps in agony. Every muscle in his body seems to scream in protest. Obi-Wan gently pushes him back down. Don't move. You've been badly injured. The cybernetics need time to integrate. Cybernetics. Anakin looks down at his hands. He flexes his new fingers, watching them move. There's a disconnect, a lag between thought and action, but they work. "Mustafar," he says, "we fought. You." His voice breaks. "You cut off my legs. You left me to burn." "I did." Obi-Wan's voice is heavy with guilt, and then I came back. "I couldn't leave you there, Anakin. I couldn't let you die like that." "Why?" Anakin's eyes are haunted. "After everything I did. After I... Padme." The name comes out as a choked sob. "Where is she? Is she?" "She's here." Obi-Wan hesitates. "She's alive. She gave birth. You have twins, Anakin. A boy and a girl. Twins." Anakin stares at the ceiling, tears running down his scarred face. "I killed her. I choked her. I felt her dying and I didn't stop." "She's alive," Obi-Wan repeats firmly. "Barely. She's very weak, but she's alive. And your children are healthy. I need to see them." Anakin tries to move again and again. The pain stops him. "Please. I need." "The medical droids won't allow it yet. You need to heal. But I can bring them here. If you think you can." "Yes. Anything. Please." Obi-Wan leaves and returns a few minutes later carrying the two infants. He's careful, cradling them against his chest, mindful of their fragile necks and tiny bodies. He approaches Anakin's bed. This is Luke. He places the boy in Anakin's right arm, helping him support the small weight. And this is Leia. The girl goes in Anakin's left arm. The babies are awake, their eyes unfocused but searching. Anakin stares down at them, his scarred face twisting with emotions too complex to name. They're so small, so perfect. My children. Obi-Wan watches as Anakin holds his son and daughter for the first time. There's something profound in this moment, something that transcends all the darkness and violence that came before. These two tiny lives, innocent and pure, cradled in the arms of a man who has done terrible things. "I don't deserve them," Anakin whispers. "I don't deserve to touch them." "Maybe not," Obi-Wan says quietly, "but they deserve to have a father who will protect them, who will make the galaxy safer for them." "Can you be that, Anakin? Can you be the man Padme believed you could be?" "I don't know." Anakin looks up at him, desperate. "I don't know if there's anything good left in me." "Then find out. Prove it. Not to me. Not to the Jedi. To them." They stay like that for a long time. Anakin holding his children, Obi-Wan standing guard. Eventually, the babies fall asleep, and Obi-Wan carefully takes them back to their cribs. When he returns to Anakin's room, his former apprentice is staring at the ceiling again. "Palpatine," Anakin says. "He'll come for them. He'll want to take them, train them, use them like he used me." "I know." Obi-Wan sits in a chair beside the bed. "That's why we're going to hide them. Make sure he never finds them. And you." Anakin looks at him. "What about me?" "Palpatine thinks you're dead. We can use that. You can become someone new, someone he won't expect. But it has to be your choice, Anakin. I can't force you down this path." "What path?" "Redemption." Obi-Wan leans forward. "You've done terrible things. I won't pretend otherwise. But you can still make things right. You can still fight for the light." Anakin closes his eyes. "I don't know if I can fight for the light anymore. I've touched the dark side. I've tasted that power. It's inside me now, Obi-Wan. I can feel it." "Then don't fight for the light. Fight for balance. Use both. The Jedi have been wrong about many things, Anakin. Perhaps they were wrong about this too." Over the following days, Padme slowly regains consciousness. The medical droids are baffled by her recovery. By all logic, she should have died. Her vital signs were failing. Her will to live was gone. But somehow, she pulled through. When Obi-Wan brings her to see Anakin, the meeting is almost too painful to witness. Padme stands in the doorway of his medical bay, tears streaming down her face. Anakin lies in his bed, his scarred face turned away, unable to meet her eyes. "I'm so sorry," he whispers, "for everything, for what I did to you, for what I've become." Padme crosses the room and sits on the edge of his bed. She takes his mechanical hand in hers, her fingers tracing the seams where metal meets flesh. "You came back to me. That's what matters. I hurt you. I nearly killed you, but you didn't." She raises his hand and presses it against her cheek. "You're still in there, Ani. I can feel you. The man I love, he's still there. I don't deserve your forgiveness. No." She smiles through her tears. "But you have it anyway. That's what love is." They talk for hours about what happened, about what comes next, about their children and the impossible situation they find themselves in. Finally, Padme makes a decision that breaks her heart, but feels like the only choice she can make. The twins need to be hidden. Palpatine will hunt for them if he knows they exist. They need to grow up safe, away from all of this. "And you?" Anakin's voice cracks. "What about you?" "I'll go back to Naboo. Make it look like I died here, in childbirth. No one will question it. My body will be in a closed casket. I'll live in hiding, but I'll live. And someday, when this is over, we can be a family again." "How long?" Anakin asks. "How long do we have to wait?" "As long as it takes." Padme leans forward and kisses him gently. "Until the Empire falls. Until Palpatine is defeated. Until our children can live free. Promise me you'll do that, Ani. Promise me you'll tear down everything he built." "I promise." Anakin pulls her close, ignoring the pain in his rebuilt body. "I'll destroy him. I'll destroy everything he stands for. And I'll make the galaxy safe for our family." A few days later, Obi-Wan takes the twins away. Luke will go to Tatooine to be raised by Anakin's stepbrother Owen and his wife Beru. Leia will go to Alderaan to be adopted by Senator Bail Organa and his wife. They'll be separated, hidden in plain sight, protected by people who will love them as their own. Anakin holds them one last time before they leave. He memorizes their faces, the feel of their small bodies in his arms, the smell of their skin. When Obi-Wan takes them, Anakin feels something inside him break and reform simultaneously. Part of him dies. Part of him is born. He watches the ship depart from the medical bay window, his reflection staring back at him from the transparent steel. Scarred, mechanical, broken, but alive, and with a purpose that burns brighter than any Sith's rage. Padme comes to stand beside him. Her own ship will leave tomorrow, carrying her back to Naboo where she'll stage her death and disappear. "What will you do?" she asks. "What will you become?" "Whatever I need to be." Anakin's mechanical hand curls into a fist. Palpatine created a monster. He wanted a weapon. I'll give him one, but not the one he expected. Not one that serves him. One that destroys him. Be careful. Padme takes his hand. Don't lose yourself in revenge. This isn't about revenge. Anakin looks at her. It's about justice. About making things right. About giving our children a galaxy worth living in. She kisses him one last time. Then go. Do what you must. But remember who you're fighting for. Always. He promises. I'll remember. They part the next morning. Padme's ship lifts off from Polis Massa, carrying her to a future of hiding and waiting. Anakin remains behind for another week, working with the medical droids to master his new body, learning to walk on mechanical legs, learning to feel with mechanical hands, learning to fight with a body that's as much machine as man. When he finally leaves Polis Massa, he takes nothing with him but his lightsaber, his pain, and his promise. He doesn't return to Coruscant, doesn't seek out the Jedi Temple or the Senate. Instead, he disappears into the Outer Rim, into the shadows and forgotten places of the galaxy. And there, in the darkness, he begins to plan. Years pass, 3 years, 5, 7. The Empire tightens its grip on the galaxy with ruthless efficiency that would make even the most autocratic Republic senator blanch. Palpatine sits on his throne on Coruscant, high in what was once the Jedi Temple, now converted into the Imperial Palace, a monument to his victory over the light. The Emperor of everything, believing his greatest weapon died screaming on Mustafar, never knowing that Anakin Skywalker survived that day. That Obi-Wan's moment of mercy changed everything. The Jedi are extinct, hunted down and destroyed by the Inquisitors, and the clone troopers programmed to betray them. The Republic is ashes, its democratic ideals replaced by authoritarian decrees and military tribunals. Order reigns across 1,000 worlds, enforced by massive star destroyers that hang in orbit like swords of Damocles, and legions of stormtroopers who march through cities with weapons ready, and the ever-present fear of imperial justice. Dissent is crushed. Resistance is futile. The Empire's reach extends to every corner of the galaxy, from the glittering core worlds to the poorest settlements in the Outer Rim. No one is safe from Palpatine's gaze. No one can escape his will. Or so he believes. But in the shadows of this empire, in the forgotten places and the dark corners that even Imperial surveillance cannot fully penetrate, whispers begin to spread. Stories told in hushed voices in cantinas on backwater worlds. Legends shared among smugglers and traders who travel the hyperlanes. Tales of a phantom, a ghost that haunts Imperial installations like a vengeful spirit. A masked figure who strikes without warning at the Empire's worst offenders, its most brutal governors and cruel admirals, and vanishes before anyone can stop him, like smoke dissipating in the wind. The Phantom, they call him in these whispered conversations. Some say he's a surviving Jedi, one who escaped Order 66, and now wages a one-man war against the Empire that destroyed his order. Others claim he's a new Sith, a dark side adept challenging the Emperor for supremacy, testing Palpatine's power through these surgical strikes. A few whisper that he's something else entirely, something the galaxy has never seen before. A being that exists between light and dark, between justice and vengeance, between hero and monster. The truth, as it often is simpler and infinitely more complicated than any of the rumors suggest. The Phantom is Anakin Skywalker, former Jedi Knight and hero of the Clone Wars, the chosen one who was prophesied to bring balance to the Force. Now something between light and dark, between the man he was and the monster he almost became, between the justice he seeks and the vengeance that still burns in his heart, like the fires of Mustafar. He wears a mask that covers his scarred face completely, a featureless oval of polished durasteel that reflects the world back at those who look at it, showing them their own features rather than his. It's both practical and symbolic. The mask hides his identity, protects him from recognition, but it also represents what he's become. A mirror, a reflection of the Empire's sins turned back upon itself. His clothing is black, practical and functional, designed for stealth and combat rather than aesthetics. Reinforced fiber weave that can stop a glancing blaster bolt. Boots that silence his footsteps. A cloak that helps him blend into shadows. Every piece of his equipment is chosen for maximum efficiency. Nothing wasted, nothing for show. His lightsaber has been modified extensively, The crystal bled and purified simultaneously through a technique he discovered in ancient Jedi texts, recovered from a forgotten temple on Ilum, resulting in a blade of pale silver that seems to shimmer between blue and red, between light and dark, never quite settling on either. The process was agonizing, requiring him to channel both sides of the Force through the crystal simultaneously, balancing them perfectly. Too much dark side and the crystal would shatter. Too much light side and it would reject his touch. But Anakin managed it, creating something unique, a weapon that represents what he's trying to become. He is not a hero in any traditional sense of the word. He does not inspire hope among the downtrodden or rally the oppressed to rise up against their masters. He does not give speeches about freedom or justice. He does not leave symbols or messages that might create a movement. He is something darker and more necessary than a hero, an executioner cloaked in shadows, a force of nature that removes the Empire's worst from existence with surgical precision and moves on before anyone can thank him or curse him. On Ryloth, in the 8th year of the Empire's reign, in a city whose name has been struck from official records as punishment for past resistance, Moff Delian Moors has ordered the enslavement of an entire population. 12,000 Twi'leks, from children barely old enough to walk to elders who remember when Ryloth was free, are being herded into labor camps to work in the spice mines that will make the Moff and her imperial cronies wealthy beyond measure. The operation is efficient and brutal in equal measure, planned with the kind of cold calculation that defines the Empire at its worst. Stormtroopers move through the city in organized squads, going door to door, pulling families from their homes at gunpoint. Those who resist are beaten. Those who fight back are shot. The streets run with blood and tears as the Twi'leks are forced into lines, tagged with identification numbers like livestock, and marched toward the transport ships that will carry them to a life of slavery and slow death underground. The Moff stands on a balcony overlooking the entire operation, 3 stories up in what was once the planetary governor's mansion before she claimed it for herself. She watches with satisfaction as stormtroopers drive the crowds forward with shock batons, the crackling of electrical discharge mixing with screams and pleas for mercy. Her aide, a nervous young Imperial officer who still has traces of conscience left in him, stands beside her with a data pad, updating her on the operation's progress. Efficient, she says, her voice carrying the cultured accent of someone born on Coruscant, someone who has never known hardship or hunger. We'll meet our production quotas ahead of schedule. The Emperor will be pleased. Perhaps there will even be a promotion in this for me. The aide nods nervously, his hands trembling slightly as he makes notations on his datapad. But Moff, there have been reports. Unexplained reports. Reports of what? She doesn't even look at him, her eyes fixed on the scene below, where a Twi'lek mother is being separated from her child. The Phantom. The aide's voice drops to barely above a whisper. He's been seen in this sector. Ships gone missing. Imperial installations sabotaged. Officers found dead with no evidence of how the killer got past security. Some of the men are saying he's coming here. Rumors. She waves a hand dismissively, her jeweled rings catching the light. Ghost stories to scare recruits and give them something to gossip about in the barracks. Even if this Phantom exists, and I seriously doubt that he does, he's one man. One man against an entire Imperial garrison. What could he possibly do? I have 300 stormtroopers, 24 ATSTs, a full complement of heavy weapons. This facility is a fortress. The aide nods nervously, but says nothing more. knowing better than to press the issue when the Moff has made up her mind. He'll file his report and cover himself if things go wrong, but he won't risk his career by arguing further. That night, as Ryloth's twin moons cast their pale glow across the occupied city, the Phantom arrives like a shadow given form. He approaches from the wasteland, moving with purpose but without haste, his black clothing blending perfectly with the darkness between the harsh pools of artificial light. Every step is calculated, every movement deliberate. He's done this so many times now that infiltration has become almost meditative, a focusing exercise where he empties his mind of everything except the mission. The perimeter security is exactly what he expected. Guard towers every 100 meters, searchlight patterns that overlap to eliminate blind spots, regular patrols with stormtroopers carrying heavy weapons, sensor arrays that can detect movement, heat signatures, even unusual air currents. To most infiltrators, even highly skilled ones, it would be almost impossible to penetrate undetected. But Anakin has advantages that most infiltrators lack. The Force allows him to sense the patrol patterns before he sees them, to feel the presence of guards before they come into view. His cybernetic parts generate almost no heat signature, making thermal sensors less effective. And his years of combat experience have taught him to think like his enemies, to understand their psychology, to exploit not just the technical flaws in their security, but the human ones. The guard towers are staffed by bored stormtroopers who have been watching an empty wasteland for months. The patrols follow routes that have never been challenged, breeding complacency. The sensor technicians in the command center are monitoring dozens of screens, too many for any human to properly watch simultaneously. These aren't weaknesses in the security system itself. They're weaknesses in the people operating it. And people are always the weakest link. The first guard tower falls without an alarm being raised. Anakin waits in the shadows, timing his approach to coincide with when the searchlight sweeps away from his position, when the patrol has just passed and won't return for another 8 minutes, when the guards in the tower are at their least alert. 3 minutes past the hour is traditionally when soldiers on watch duty are most susceptible to fatigue and distraction. It's a small detail, but Anakin has learned that missions succeed or fail based on thousands of small details like this. He uses the Force to launch himself upward, not in a dramatic leap that might be seen from other towers, but in a controlled ascent that keeps him pressed against the side of the tower, moving up the durasteel supports with his hands and feet, finding purchase on maintenance rungs that were never meant to be used during duty hours. The climb takes 18 seconds. At the top, he pauses just below the observation deck, listening through the Force to the 2 stormtroopers on duty. One is complaining about the food in the mess hall. The other is agreeing, their conversation the mindless chatter of soldiers trying to pass the time on a boring watch. Neither is looking in Anakin's direction. Neither is expecting an attack. Why would they? This post has never been hit. This city is conquered. The war is over. Anakin rises silently onto the deck, his movements liquid and controlled. His hand extends, not aggressively but almost gently, and the Force flows from him in a focused wave that presses on specific points in both stormtroopers' brains. Neural pathways related to consciousness are disrupted. Synapses misfire. Within 2 seconds, both troopers slump to the ground, their blasters clattering against the deck with sounds that seem impossibly loud in the quiet night. Anakin freezes, extending his senses outward, checking if anyone heard. The next tower over is 200 meters away. The patrol below is focused on their route, not on listening for sounds from above. No alarms sound, no shouts of discovery. He's still undetected. Anakin drags the unconscious stormtroopers to the corner of the observation deck, where they're shielded from view by the tower's equipment housing. He checks their vital signs out of habit, ensuring they're merely unconscious and not seriously hurt. They'll wake in a few hours with splitting headaches and no memory of the last few minutes. A small mercy for men who are just doing their jobs, men who probably joined the Empire because they needed employment or believed the propaganda about bringing order to the galaxy. They're not his enemy. The system they serve is. From his position in the tower, Anakin can see the layout of the garrison clearly. The command center in the middle, a reinforced bunker design that would require significant firepower to breach from the outside. Barracks arranged in a radial pattern around it, housing for the 300 stormtroopers the Moff mentioned. Vehicle depot to the east with the ATSTs and troop transports. Armory to the west, probably well guarded. And in the north, isolated from the other buildings, the Moff's personal residence, the former governor's mansion that she's claimed as her own. That's where Moff Delian Moores is right now, according to intelligence Anakin gathered from intercepted Imperial communications. She's hosting a dinner party for her senior officers, celebrating the success of today's operation, drinking expensive wine while Twi'leks are loaded into cargo containers, while families are torn apart, while a city mourns. Anakin's hand tightens on the tower's railing, the metal creaking under the pressure from his mechanical fingers. The rage is always there, just beneath the surface, threatening to overwhelm him. He breathes slowly, centers himself, finds the balance between the anger that gives him strength and the peace that gives him control. He can't afford to lose himself in fury. Not yet. Not until the mission is complete. He descends from the tower, using the same maintenance rungs, dropping the last 3 meters to land silently in the shadows between two buildings. From here, the path to the command center requires crossing open ground, areas illuminated by floodlights and monitored by cameras. But Anakin has learned tricks during his years operating in Imperial territory. He doesn't avoid the cameras. Instead, he times his movements to coincide with their sweep patterns, staying in their blind spots, moving when they're looking elsewhere. When that's not possible, he uses the Force to create subtle electrical disturbances that cause brief malfunctions, just long enough for him to pass. To anyone monitoring the security feeds, it looks like ordinary technical glitches, the kind that happen dozens of times per day in any complex system. Nothing to raise alarm, nothing to investigate. He reaches the command center and finds the entrance guarded by 4 stormtroopers, more alert than the ones in the tower. These are headquarters guards, chosen for their discipline and vigilance. They stand at attention, weapons ready, scanning the area with regular sweeps. They're doing everything right. It won't save them. Anakin doesn't use Force persuasion on disciplined guards. It's too risky. A strong-willed individual can resist, can sense something wrong, can raise an alarm. Instead, he uses a different approach. He finds a small stone in the shadows and uses the Force to throw it across the courtyard, where it clatters against a storage container on the far side. All 4 guards turn toward the sound, weapons raised. Contact, possible intruder, southwest quadrant. One of them says into his comm, "2 of you check it out. The other 2 stay here." 2 stormtroopers move to investigate, following proper procedure, covering each other as they advance toward where the sound originated. They're professional, well-trained. They clear corners properly, check behind obstacles, communicate their positions. Any normal intruder would be caught. But Anakin is behind them now, having used their moment of distraction to move past their position. He's already inside the command center, in the ventilation shaft above the main operations room, before they report finding nothing. The operations room is the nerve center of the garrison. Walls lined with monitors showing feeds from security cameras across the facility. Operators sit at consoles, monitoring sensors, managing communications, coordinating patrol routes. A duty officer oversees everything from a raised platform, data pad in hand, occasionally giving orders or responding to queries. Everything appears normal, routine, boring even. That's about to change. Anakin drops from the vent shaft directly into the center of the room, his arrival so sudden and unexpected that for a moment, nobody reacts. They simply stare at this black-clad figure who materialized in their midst, trying to process what they're seeing. Then the duty officer's training kicks in. "Intruder!" he shouts, reaching for his sidearm. "Security breach!" All units respond, but Anakin is already moving. His silver lightsaber ignites with a snap hiss that sounds like lightning cracking, casting strange shadows across the room. The blade moves in a tight arc, severing the common. But the Phantom doesn't need doors. He cuts through walls with his lightsaber, moving through the installation's infrastructure, using maintenance tunnels and ventilation shafts that don't appear on any official maps. A squad of stormtroopers rounds a corner, and their comrade is suddenly jerked backward into the darkness. They spin around, weapons raised, but see nothing, just shadows. Then one of their heads snaps to the side with an audible crack. An invisible force push. Another trooper flies backward, slammed against the wall with enough force to dent his armor. The remaining troopers open fire blindly into the darkness. Their blaster bolts ricochet off walls, casting brief flashes of red light that reveal nothing. Then a silver lightsaber ignites in the darkness, and the killing begins. The Phantom moves through them like a dancer. His blade is precise, economical, finding the gaps in their armor with surgical accuracy. He doesn't make speeches, doesn't give warnings. He simply executes them and moves on. Moff Moores receives the reports in her office. 60 stormtroopers dead in the first hour, 100 by the second hour. Her garrison is being systematically dismantled by a single intruder. She tries to contact the local Star Destroyer for support, but communications are jammed. She tries to flee to her private shuttle, but the hangar has been sabotaged. She's trapped. As she sits behind her desk, hand gripping a blaster she's never fired in combat, the door to her office explodes inward. The Phantom steps through the smoke. His mask is featureless, reflecting her terrified face back at her. She raises her blaster with shaking hands. "Stay back. I'm an Imperial Moff. Killing me is treason." The Phantom tilts his head slightly, as if considering her words. Then he reaches out with the Force. The blaster flies from her hand. "Please." She backs against the wall. "I was following orders. I was doing my job. So was I once." The Phantom's voice is distorted by his mask, but there's something familiar about it that she can't quite place. That's not an excuse. His silver lightsaber ignites with a snap hiss that sounds like a death sentence. "Wait, wait. I'll let them go. The Twi'leks. I'll free them. I'll stop the operation. You can take credit. You'll be a hero." The Phantom pauses. For a moment, Moff Moores allows herself to hope. Then he speaks. "You had your chance. To be merciful. You chose cruelty. Now you face the consequences." His blade flashes once. Moff Delian Moores falls. The Twi'lek slaves wake the next morning to find the Imperial garrison abandoned. The stormtroopers are dead or have fled. The labor camp gates are open. On the Moff's desk, they find a data chip containing evidence of her crimes, along with access codes to the Imperial treasury on Ryloth. Enough money to rebuild their city and then some. But they never see their liberator. The Phantom is already gone, moving to the next target. On Lothal, several months later, Admiral Cassius Constantine has been using orbital bombardment to suppress protests. Entire city blocks have been reduced to rubble. Thousands are dead. The Admiral stands on the bridge of his Star Destroyer, watching the latest bombardment with cold satisfaction. That should discourage further dissent, he tells his crew. Prepare another strike on the Eastern District. Sir, we're receiving reports of an intruder. Security is... The officer's words cut off as every light on the ship goes dark. Emergency systems engage after a moment, casting everything in red light. What's happening? Constantine demands. We've lost main power. Engineering is investigating. All hands, intruder alert. All hands to combat stations. The Phantom is already 3 decks deep into the Star Destroyer by the time the alarm sounds. He moves through the corridors with purpose, his lightsaber cutting through blast doors and security checkpoints. Stormtroopers try to stop him. He kills them. Death troopers try to slow him down. He kills them faster. A squad of naval troopers attempts to ambush him in a junction. He senses them through the Force before they can spring their trap. His lightsaber deactivates. The troopers hesitate, confused. Then the Phantom raises both hands. The Force flows through him, a torrent of power that he channels with precision. The troopers are lifted off the ground, slammed against the ceiling, and dropped. Hard. Their armor cracks, their bones break. The Phantom doesn't check to see if they're dead. He simply continues forward. The bridge is sealed behind reinforced blast doors when he arrives. The Phantom studies them for a moment, then places both hands against the cold metal. He channels the Force, feeling for weaknesses, stress points, the molecular structure of the alloy. He finds what he's looking for. With a push of power, the doors begin to glow red hot. The metal warps and screams. Then they explode inward in a shower of molten fragments. The bridge crew scrambles for weapons as the Phantom steps through. Admiral Constantine stands at the center, flanked by a squad of death troopers. Their advanced weapons are trained on the intruder. Kill him, Constantine orders. The death troopers open fire. Their blaster rifles are military grade, designed to punch through armor and shields. Against a single man, even one with a lightsaber, they should be overwhelming. But the Phantom is not a single man. He's a storm given form. His lightsaber ignites and becomes a blur of silver light. Blaster bolts are deflected, redirected, sent back at their sources. 2 death troopers fall to their own shots. The others adjust their aim, firing in coordinated patterns designed to overwhelm any defense. The Phantom sidesteps, leaps, twists in midair. His movements are impossible. He lands in the center of the group, and his lightsaber becomes a whirlwind. Armor is cut, bodies fall. Within seconds, all the death troopers are dead. Constantine backs toward his command chair, reaching for his sidearm. The Phantom raises a hand, and the Admiral is lifted off his feet, held suspended by the Force. No, Constantine chokes out. You can't. I'm an Imperial Admiral. My fleet will hunt you to the ends of the galaxy. Your fleet is gone, the Phantom says. I sabotaged your engines. In approximately 3 minutes, your ship's reactor will go critical. You have time to evacuate your crew, or you can die with them. The choice is yours. He releases the Force hold. Constantine drops to the deck, gasping. Why are you doing this? Why target me specifically? You murdered thousands on Lothal, innocents, children. You thought you could rule through fear. I'm showing you what real fear looks like. The Phantom turns and walks toward the ruined bridge doors. The Admiral scrambles for his comm. All hands, abandon ship. This is not a drill. Repeat, abandon ship immediately. The Phantom leaves the Star Destroyer on a stolen shuttle. Behind him, escape pods launch in all directions as the crew flees. 2 minutes later, the reactor explodes. The Star Destroyer breaks apart in a brilliant flash that lights up Lothal's night sky. On the planet below, the people who have lived under Constantine's bombardment watch the explosion. They don't know who destroyed the ship, don't know if it was rebels or sabotage, or the Force itself exacting justice. But they whisper prayers of thanks to whatever power struck down their oppressor. Word spreads. Throughout the Empire, stories of the Phantom spread. Moffs are found dead in their offices. Admirals disappear from their flagships. Governors who abuse their power are executed in their sleep. No one knows who the Phantom is. No one knows where he'll strike next. The only pattern is that his targets are always the worst of the Empire, the ones who take the most pleasure in cruelty, the ones who see their power as license for atrocity. Some Imperial officers begin to moderate their behavior, afraid they might be next. Others double down, surrounding themselves with guards and security systems, convinced that enough force can keep them safe. They're wrong. But as Anakin cuts his bloody path through the Empire, he begins to question what he's doing. He stands in yet another Imperial office, over yet another corpse, and wonders if this is justice or just murder with better justification. The bodies pile up, hundreds, perhaps thousands when counting the collateral damage. And for what? The Empire continues. Palpatine still rules. All Anakin is doing is pruning the worst branches while the rotten tree remains. In quiet moments, alone in whatever ship or safe house he's using, Anakin removes his mask and stares at his scarred reflection. He thinks about Padme, hidden on Naboo, about Luke and Leia, growing up without knowing their father, about the promise he made to make the galaxy safe for them. Is this the way? Killing one Imperial officer at a time? Even if he spends the rest of his life doing this, there will always be more. The Empire is too vast. Palpatine's hold is too strong. He needs to be smarter. He needs help. He needs a different approach. On Rada, a small agricultural world in the Outer Rim, Anakin tracks an Imperial weapons depot. Intelligence suggests it's being used to arm local collaborators, people willing to betray their neighbors for Imperial credits. He plans to destroy it and everyone inside. Simple, clean. But as he approaches the depot through the darkness, moving like a shadow through the farmland, he feels something that stops him cold. A presence in the Force. Familiar, impossible. He spins around, his hand going to his lightsaber. Behind him, a figure emerges from the shadows. She wears white, the color reversed from her usual darkness. Her montrals are taller than he remembers. Her face is older, marked by the same years that have aged him. But there's no mistaking her. Ahsoka Tano, his former Padawan, his little sister, the person he betrayed when he fell to the dark side. She has a white lightsaber in each hand, unignited, but ready. Neither of them moves. The air between them crackles with tension. "I knew it was you," Ahsoka says quietly. "Your form, your technique, the way you move through the Force. Even behind that mask, I knew." The Phantom doesn't speak. Can't speak. What would he say? How could he possibly explain? Ahsoka takes a step closer. "Take off the mask, Sky Guy. Let me see your face." Slowly, Anakin reaches up and removes his mask. The scars on his face are visible in the moonlight. His mechanical hand gleams. His eyes, blue now but carrying shadows of yellow, meet hers. Ahsoka's breath catches. "What happened to you?" "Everything." Anakin's voice is rough, unused to speaking without the mask's distortion. "The war Palpatine, the dark side. Everything that could go wrong did. Obi-Wan told me you died on Mustafar. He said you fell to the dark side, that you became Vader. I did fall, Anakin admits. I did terrible things, Ahsoka. Things I can never take back. But Vader died on Mustafar. This, he gestures at himself, this is what came back. Ahsoka's hand tightens on her lightsaber hilts. And what is this exactly? What are you doing out here, killing Imperial officers? Justice, Anakin says. Or revenge. Maybe both. Does it matter? Yes. Ahsoka's voice hardens. It matters because you're becoming what you're fighting against. You're killing people, Anakin, executing them without trial, without mercy. They deserve it. Every person I've killed was a monster. They were enslaving people, murdering innocents, destroying worlds. So you're judge, jury, and executioner now. That's the Sith way, not the Jedi way. I'm not a Jedi anymore. And you. Anakin gestures at her white lightsabers. You left the Order. You walked away. So don't lecture me about Jedi ways. I left because the Order was corrupt. Ahsoka steps closer. But I didn't abandon everything they taught me. I still believe in justice, in mercy, in giving people a chance to be better. What you're doing, this isn't justice. It's just more violence. Then what would you have me do? Anakin's voice rises. Sit back and watch while the Empire destroys everything. Talk about balance and mercy while children are enslaved. I tried being a Jedi, Ahsoka. I tried following their code. And where did it get me? It got me used, manipulated, turned into a weapon. So now I'm a weapon on my terms, pointing at the real enemy. And how many innocent people have died because of your war? Ahsoka demands. How many stormtroopers were just kids from Outer Rim worlds who joined because it was the only job available? How many of those death troopers had families? They chose to serve the Empire. They wore the uniform. That makes them complicit. Did you give them a chance to surrender, to defect? Or did you just cut them down because it was easier? Anakin is silent. The question cuts deeper than he wants to admit. Ahsoka sighs. You're still in there, Sky Guy. I can feel it. The man who taught me to fight for what's right, to protect the weak, to never give up on people. He's still there, buried under all this anger and pain. But what you're doing, this path you're on, it's going to destroy what's left of him. Anakin looks away. Maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe the galaxy needs someone willing to get their hands dirty. No. Ahsoka deactivates her lightsabers and clips them to her belt. The galaxy needs heroes, not executioners. It needs people who fight for something better, not just against something worse. Anakin stares at her for a long moment. Then slowly, he clips his own lightsaber to his belt. I don't know how to be a hero anymore. Then let me help you remember. Ahsoka approaches until she's standing directly in front of him. Together, like we used to. We find another way. You said it yourself. Killing one Imperial at a time isn't working. So we try something different. What do you have in mind? We build something, a network. People inside the Empire who want to change things. People outside who are willing to fight. We don't just kill the worst of them. We dismantle the whole system. How? Anakin's voice carries a hint of his old curiosity. The Empire is too big, too entrenched. Palpatine controls everything. Not everything. Ahsoka smiles slightly. He thinks he does. But there are cracks. People who joined believing in order and peace, only to find themselves serving tyranny. Officers who are disgusted by what they're being ordered to do. Senators who still remember the Republic. We find them. We recruit them. We turn the Empire against itself. And if that doesn't work, then we fight. But we fight smart. We undermine their supply lines. We feed intelligence to resistance cells. We make it impossible for them to maintain control. And when the time is right, when we have enough pieces in place, we remove Palpatine. Anakin studies her face. You've changed. So have you. She reaches out and touches his scarred cheek gently. But you're still my master. Still the person who believed in me when no one else did. Now let me believe in you. Help me find a better way than this. Anakin closes his eyes. When he opens them again, something has shifted. The yellow tint is completely gone. Okay, he says quietly. Okay, we do it your way. Together. Over the following weeks, Anakin and Ahsoka begin building their network. They start with people they trust. People they know from the Clone Wars, who might still remember what it meant to serve the Republic rather than an empire. Their first recruit is Admiral Wolf Yularen. The old Republic officer has become deeply disillusioned with the Empire. He joined the Imperial Security Bureau believing he could help maintain order and root out corruption. Instead, he's found himself investigating and arresting people whose only crime is speaking out against tyranny. When Anakin and Ahsoka contact him through secure channels, he agrees to meet in person. They choose a neutral location, an abandoned mining station in the Atravis sector. Yularen arrives alone, as requested, his weathered face showing the strain of years spent serving an empire he no longer believes in. General Skywalker, he says when he sees Anakin's scarred face. I heard you died on Mustafar. I heard you became Darth Vader. I did die on Mustafar, Anakin replies, and Vader died with me. What I am now is something different, a man trying to make amends. Yularen looks between Anakin and Ahsoka. Why contact me? Why now? Because we need good people on the inside, Ahsoka says. People who remember what the Republic stood for. People who can help us change things from within. Change things. Yularen laughs bitterly. You're talking about treason. We're talking about justice, Anakin corrects. The Empire is built on a lie. Palpatine is a Sith Lord. He orchestrated the Clone Wars. He destroyed the Jedi. Everything you've spent your career investigating is just a distraction from the real criminal sitting on the throne. I know, Yularen says quietly. Both Anakin and Ahsoka stare at him. You know, I've suspected for years. Yularen sits heavily in a chair. The evidence is there if you know where to look. The way Palpatine knew about separatist movements before they happened. The way he always seemed to have the right solution ready. The way he consolidated power during the war. I'm not a fool, General, but suspecting and proving are different things. So help us prove it, Ahsoka says. Help us gather evidence, build a case, and when the time is right, we expose him. And then what? Yularen asks. Even if we expose Palpatine, even if we prove he's a Sith, he still controls the military. He still has the loyalty of most of the Empire. We expose him and all we accomplish is our own execution. Then we make sure we have enough support before we act. Anakin leans forward. We bring in others, people strategically placed throughout the Empire. We coordinate, and when we strike, we make sure it's decisive. Yularen studies them both for a long moment. This is insane, absolutely insane, but I'm in, because doing nothing while the Empire destroys everything we built is even worse. With Yularen on board, the network begins to grow. He provides them with names, officers who have expressed doubts, senators who still believe in democracy, bureaucrats who are disgusted by the corruption they see. Each recruitment is carefully planned. Anakin and Ahsoka never reveal themselves to more than a handful of people. Most of the network doesn't know who's really in charge. They just know there's an organization working to reform the Empire from within. One of their most important recruits comes months later. Captain Rex, Commander Wolf, and Commander Gregor. Clone troopers who survived Order 66 by removing their inhibitor chips. They've been living in hiding, trying to stay off the Empire's radar. When Anakin contacts them, Rex is initially suspicious. The last time he saw General Skywalker was during the Clone Wars. The idea that he's alive, that he's fighting against the Empire, seems too good to be true. They meet on a remote moon, far from Imperial patrols. When Rex sees Anakin's scarred face, his modified body, the clone commander's eyes widen. "General, is it really you?" "It's me, Rex." Anakin can't quite meet his eyes, though I'm not the man you remember. None of us are. Rex approaches slowly. The war changed all of us. What happened after? Order 66. That changed us even more. Did you? Anakin hesitates. Did you get the order? We did. Rex's voice is heavy. Our inhibitor chips activated. We tried to kill Commander Tano, but she helped us remove the chips before we could. We've been running ever since. I'm sorry, Anakin says, for all of it, for the war, for what Palpatine did to you, for not seeing it coming. With respect, General, you're not the one who needs to apologize. Rex steps forward and places a hand on Anakin's shoulder. You're fighting back now. That's what matters. Will you help us? Ahsoka asks. We're building something, a network to bring down the Empire. We need soldiers we can trust. The three clone commanders exchange looks. Then Wolf grins. General, we've been waiting for someone to give us a reason to fight. You just did. Count us in. With Rex, Wolf, and Gregor come connections to other clones who resisted their programming or removed their chips. Not many, but enough. Veterans who know how the military works. Men who remember what it meant to serve the Republic. They become the core of the network's military operations. But Anakin knows they need political support as well. That's where Senator Mon Mothma comes in. She's been quietly opposing the Empire since its formation, trying to work within the system to preserve what little remains of the Republic's ideals. She's careful, subtle, never pushing hard enough to be arrested, but never accepting the Empire's excesses without protest. When Anakin requests a meeting through secure channels, she's cautious. She arrives at the designated location, a private apartment in Coruscant's lower levels, with 2 bodyguards. Inside, she finds Anakin and Ahsoka waiting. General Skywalker. Mon Mothma studies his scarred face. You look different from your portraits. War changes people, Anakin says, and what comes after changes them even more. I'll be direct. We're building a network to remove Palpatine and dismantle the Empire. We need political support. We need someone who can legitimize what comes after. What makes you think I would commit treason? Mon Mothma's voice is carefully neutral. Because you're already committing it, Ahsoka says. We've been monitoring your activities, Senator. The quiet funding of resistance cells, the leaked intelligence to opposition groups, the legislation you've been drafting in secret to restore democratic rights. You're already fighting the Empire. We're just asking you to do it openly when the time comes. Mon Mothma is silent for a long moment. Then she dismisses her bodyguards. They protest, but she insists. Once they're alone, she sits across from Anakin and Ahsoka. If I do this, I need guarantees. What comes after can't be another dictatorship. It can't be you sitting on Palpatine's throne. I don't want the throne, Anakin says firmly. I don't want power. I want my children to grow up free. I want the galaxy to have a chance at real peace, not the Empire's version. Real peace. Your children. Mon Mothma's eyes widen. The rumor was that you had twins with Senator Amidala before she died. They're alive, they're hidden, and they'll stay that way until Palpatine is gone. Anakin leans forward. I'll make you a deal, Senator. We remove Palpatine, we dismantle the Empire, and then we build something new. A real democracy with checks and balances, with term limits and oversight, where no one person can ever accumulate the power Palpatine has. And your role in this new government? I'll have none, Anakin says. I've done too much, hurt too many people. I'll work in the shadows, removing the worst threats, but I won't be a public figure. I won't be a symbol. That's for people like you, people who actually believe in democracy. Mon Mothma considers this. Then she extends her hand. You have my support, but if you betray this vision, if you try to seize power for yourself, I'll oppose you with everything I have. I'd expect nothing less. Anakin shakes her hand. With Mon Mothma's support comes access to her network of reform-minded senators. Not all of them join the conspiracy. Most don't even know it exists. But they provide cover, political capital, and when the time comes, legitimacy. The network grows. Slowly at first, then faster. Officers who are disgusted by the atrocities they're ordered to commit. Bureaucrats who see the corruption eating the empire from within. Soldiers who remember what it meant to serve something other than fear. They don't call themselves rebels. That word carries too much baggage. Instead, they simply work to undermine the empire's worst excesses while preparing for the moment when they can strike at its heart. But they're careful, so careful. Every recruitment is vetted. Every operation is planned in meticulous detail. They can't afford to be discovered. Not yet. Not before they're ready. Anakin coordinates much of this from the shadows. He's become something between a general and a ghost. People know he exists, know he's in charge. But few have actually met him face to face. It's safer that way. If he's captured, if his identity is revealed, the shock of Anakin Skywalker being alive might force Palpatine's hand too soon. So he works through intermediaries. Through Ahsoka, through Rex, through Yularen. He becomes the phantom the Empire feared he was. But now, he's not just killing. He's building. They spend months establishing supply lines, ensuring friendly ships can move through the galaxy without Imperial scrutiny. They establish safe houses on dozens of worlds, places where network members can hide if they're compromised. They develop encryption protocols that even Imperial slicers can't break. They plant operatives in key positions, Star Destroyer crews, ISB offices, even the Imperial Palace itself. Each piece is carefully positioned. Each person knows only what they need to know. The network becomes a web spanning the galaxy, invisible but present, waiting for the moment to pull tight. But Palpatine is not blind. He cannot sense Anakin through the Force, cannot feel his former apprentice's presence. Anakin has learned to shield himself completely, to hide in the Force like a shadow in shadows. But the Emperor can sense that something is wrong. The Empire should be running smoothly. His vision should be manifesting without obstacle. Instead, there are disruptions. Operations that fail for no apparent reason. Officers who disappear. Resistance cells that seem to have access to intelligence they shouldn't possess. Something is working against him. Something coordinated. Something that feels almost familiar in its precision. Palpatine summons the Inquisitors. They kneel before his throne. 5 dark side adepts who once were Jedi, now twisted into hunting their former brothers and sisters. My friends. Palpatine's voice is soft, almost grandfatherly. I have a task for you. The Grand Inquisitor looks up. Anything, my master. There is a disturbance in the Empire, a cancer growing in secret. I want you to find it, root it out. Bring me whoever is orchestrating this rebellion, alive if possible, dead if necessary. And if they are Force-sensitive, then kill them on sight. Palpatine's eyes glow yellow in the dim throne room. I will not allow another Jedi uprising. The Inquisitors spread across the galaxy. They investigate every disrupted operation, every suspicious death, every pattern that might reveal the network. On Nar Shaddaa, several months into their investigation, they find a lead. An information broker has been funneling intelligence to unknown parties. The Inquisitors capture him and extract the information through torture and dark side interrogation. He breaks after 3 days, gives them a name, a location, a meeting. The Grand Inquisitor brings a full strike team, 4 Inquisitors plus him. They wait in the shadows of an abandoned warehouse, sensing for Force-sensitive individuals. Hours pass. Then finally they feel it. A presence, powerful, familiar, wrong. A figure enters the warehouse wearing a dark cloak and a featureless mask. The Inquisitors emerge from their hiding places, lightsabers igniting. Red blades cast blood-colored light across the space. Whoever you are, the Grand Inquisitor says, your crusade ends here. We serve the Emperor, and you will bow before him or die. Anakin stops in the center of the warehouse. He doesn't reach for his lightsaber, doesn't move into a fighting stance. He simply stands there, calm and ready. You have no idea who I am. His voice is distorted by the mask. I know you oppose the Empire. That's enough. The Grand Inquisitor gestures, and the other 4 Inquisitors spread out, surrounding Anakin. 5 against 1. Poor odds for you. They attack simultaneously. A coordinated assault designed to overwhelm any single opponent. The first Inquisitor comes from the front, her double-bladed lightsaber spinning in a deadly arc. The second comes from the left, his blade striking high. The third from the right, striking low. The fourth leaps from above, coming down like a meteor. The Grand Inquisitor holds back, watching, ready to exploit any opening. But there are no openings. Anakin's hand moves, his silver lightsaber ignites, and the entire warehouse explodes with motion. He parries the first Inquisitor's spinning blade, redirecting it into the second's path. They collide in a tangle of limbs and lightsabers. The third Inquisitor's low strike is met with a Force-enhanced kick that sends him sprawling. The fourth Inquisitor coming from above meets Anakin's lightsaber thrust upward. Their blades lock for a split second before Anakin pushes with the Force. The Inquisitor is thrown back, slamming into a support pillar hard enough to crack the Duracrete. The first and second Inquisitors recover quickly. They separate and come at Anakin from both sides. The first spins her double blade in complex patterns designed to confuse and overwhelm. The second uses quick, precise strikes aimed at vital points. Against most opponents, this combination would be unbeatable. But Anakin is not most opponents. He steps into the first Inquisitor's attack, rather than away from it. Gets inside her guard, where the spinning blade can't reach him effectively. His elbow slams into her face, breaking her nose. She stumbles back, and his lightsaber flashes. Her double blade is severed in 2. She catches one half as it falls, but Anakin is already moving. The second Inquisitor's precise strikes are met with brutal parries. Anakin doesn't fight elegantly. He fights efficiently. Each deflection puts the Inquisitor slightly off balance. Each step forces them to adjust their stance. Within seconds, the second Inquisitor is on the defensive, backing away, trying to regain control of the engagement. Anakin doesn't give him the chance. He feints high, then strikes low. The second Inquisitor barely blocks the attack. Metal screams as their lightsabers grind together. Then Anakin reaches out with his mechanical hand and grabs the Inquisitor's throat. The Force flows through him, not to choke, to throw. The second Inquisitor is lifted off the ground and hurled across the warehouse. He crashes through a pile of old crates and doesn't get up. The third and fourth Inquisitors attack together now. They've seen what Anakin can do, and they're not taking chances. They coordinate their strikes perfectly, one high and one low, forcing Anakin to defend multiple angles simultaneously. But Anakin doesn't just defend, he attacks. His lightsaber moves in patterns that shouldn't be possible. Block high, strike low, deflect left, kick right. Every defensive action is simultaneously an offensive one. The third Inquisitor overextends on a lunge. Anakin sidesteps, and his lightsaber removes the Inquisitor's hand at the wrist. The scream is cut short as Anakin's follow-up strike takes his head. The fourth Inquisitor, seeing his companion fall, unleashes a desperate barrage of Force lightning. The dark side energy crackles through the air, seeking Anakin like a living thing. Anakin catches it on his lightsaber blade. The silver light seems to absorb the lightning, neutralize it. He advances through the attack, step by step, until he's within striking distance. One precise slash, and the fourth Inquisitor falls. The first Inquisitor, still holding half of her broken double blade, tries to flee. Anakin reaches out with the Force. She's pulled back across the warehouse, dragged through the air like a puppet on strings. She struggles against the invisible grip, but it's useless. Anakin brings her to hover in front of him. "Who sent you?" "The Emperor," she gasps. "He knows someone is organizing resistance. He ordered us to find you. Tell him." Anakin's voice is cold. "Tell him Anakin Skywalker is alive. Tell him I'm coming for him." Her eyes widen in shock. "Vader, Vader died on Mustafar." Anakin releases her and she falls to the ground. "Run. Tell your master what you saw here. Let him know his time is running out." She doesn't need to be told twice. The first Inquisitor flees, limping and bleeding, leaving her fallen companions behind. The Grand Inquisitor, who has watched this entire battle from the shadows, makes his own decision. He turns and runs. Anakin lets them both go. Let them tell Palpatine. Let the Emperor know that his greatest weapon has turned against him. It will make him afraid, make him sloppy. And fear is a weapon Anakin knows how to use. In his throne room on Coruscant, Palpatine listens to the First Inquisitor's report. His face remains impassive, but his eyes glow brighter with each word. "Skywalker," he says when she finishes. "Impossible. I felt him die. My master. I know what I saw. The power he wielded, the fighting style. It was Vader. It was Skywalker." Palpatine rises from his throne. "Then he did not die on Mustafar. Obi-Wan. He must have saved him, turned him, used him against me." The First Inquisitor bows. "What are your orders, Master?" "Find him. Use every resource at your disposal. Track him down, but don't engage." She looks up, confused. "My master, surely. Skywalker is mine." Palpatine's voice is soft but carries an edge like broken glass. "He was my apprentice, my weapon. If he has turned against me, I will be the one to end him." "Yes, my master." Palpatine stares out at the Coruscant skyline. So Anakin Skywalker lives. Interesting. Very interesting. This changes everything. But Anakin and Ahsoka know they're running out of time. The confrontation with the Inquisitors has exposed them. Palpatine knows Anakin is alive. He'll be more cautious now, more dangerous. They gather the core of their network for an emergency meeting. Mon Mothma, Admiral Yularen, Rex and his clone commanders, a handful of other key players. The meeting takes place on Concordia, a moon of Mandalore that the network has been using as a base. We're accelerating the timeline. Anakin says without preamble. Palpatine knows I'm alive. He'll start investigating, tightening security, purging anyone he suspects of disloyalty. We need to move before he can consolidate. We're not ready. Yularen protests. We don't have enough people in key positions. Our supply lines aren't fully established. If we move now, we might fail. And if we wait, Palpatine will destroy us, Ahsoka says. We work with what we have. Mon Mothma studies the holographic map of the galaxy floating between them. What exactly are you proposing? A coordinated strike. Anakin points to various locations on the map. We activate all our cells simultaneously, create chaos across the Empire, make Palpatine divide his attention, spread his forces thin, and while he's dealing with 1,000 fires, we go for the throat. You're talking about assassinating the Emperor. Mon Mothma's voice is carefully neutral. I'm talking about justice. Anakin meets her gaze. Palpatine is a Sith Lord. He orchestrated a war that killed trillions. He destroyed the Jedi Order. He turned the Republic into a dictatorship. If anyone deserves execution, it's him. And if you fail, if he kills you, then you continue the work. Anakin gestures to everyone in the room. This network doesn't depend on me. It's bigger than any one person. That was the point. If I fall, someone else leads. The fight continues until the Empire falls. There's a long silence. Then Rex speaks up. The General's right. We can't wait for the perfect moment. It'll never come. We do what we can with what we have. That's how we won the Clone Wars. Wolf nods. And this time, we're fighting for something that actually matters. Not for the Republic's lies, for real freedom. The others slowly agree. They spend the next hours planning, coordinating, deciding who will strike where and when. The plan is audacious, probably suicidal, but it's their best chance. As the meeting breaks up, Ahsoka pulls Anakin aside. You're planning to face Palpatine alone, aren't you? Of course not. Anakin smiles slightly. You're coming with me. Sky Guy, I'm serious. This isn't like the Clone Wars. We don't have an army backing us up. We don't have the Jedi Order. It's just us against the most powerful Sith Lord in the galaxy. I know. Anakin's smile fades. But we don't have a choice. If we don't remove him, all of this has been for nothing. Then we do it together. Ahsoka places her hand on his shoulder. Like always, together. The network activates 3 days later. Across the galaxy, sleeper cells wake up. Sympathetic officers reveal themselves. Supply depots are sabotaged. Communication networks are disrupted. Star destroyers find their hyperdrives mysteriously malfunctioning. Entire garrisons discover their weapons have been replaced with faulty equipment. It's not a rebellion, not yet. It's 1,000 pinpricks, each one barely noticeable on its own, but together creating a pattern of chaos that the Empire cannot ignore. On Corellia, Admiral Yularen leads a mutiny on his Star Destroyer. He has the support of 70% of the crew. The remaining 30% are locked in the brig before they can raise an alarm. The ship breaks formation and jumps to hyperspace, carrying Yularen to a predetermined rendezvous point. On Ryloth, the Twi'lek people rise up against the Imperial garrison. Armed with weapons the network smuggled in over months, they overwhelm the stormtroopers through sheer numbers. The planet declares independence within hours. On Lothal, Rex and his clone commandos lead an assault on the Imperial headquarters. They move through the building like ghosts, stunning guards and liberating prisoners. By the time Imperial reinforcements arrive, the facility is empty except for a message spray-painted on the wall. The Republic remembers. Dozens of worlds follow similar patterns. Not enough to overthrow the Empire, Not yet, but enough to create the illusion of a galaxy-wide uprising. Palpatine receives reports from across his domain. His carefully ordered empire is fracturing. He summons his military commanders, his advisors, his inquisitors. Find out who is organizing this. He orders, crush these uprisings. Execute anyone suspected of treason. I want order restored immediately. The commanders salute and disperse, taking Star Destroyers and legions of stormtroopers to deal with the rebellions, which is exactly what Anakin and Ahsoka need. With the Empire's attention focused on putting out fires across the galaxy, Coruscant's defenses are weakened, not by much. The capital world is still heavily protected, but there are gaps, opportunities. Anakin and Ahsoka exploit them. They approach Coruscant in a stolen Imperial shuttle, using codes provided by Yularen. The orbital defense stations let them pass without question. They land in the lower levels of Coruscant, in the industrial district, where thousands of ships come and go every hour. No one notices one more. They make their way up through the city world. Anakin knows these paths. He walked them as a Jedi Knight, as a general, as a different person in a different life. Now he walks them as something else. The Imperial Palace looms above them. Once, it was the Jedi Temple. Now it's a monument to Palpatine's ego, twisted, wrong. The dark side radiates from it like heat from a sun. They're inside within an hour. The palace is massive, thousands of rooms, tens of thousands of corridors. But Anakin doesn't need directions. He can feel Palpatine's presence like a wound in the Force. He follows that sensation through checkpoint after checkpoint. The guards they encounter are dealt with quickly and quietly. Ahsoka uses mind tricks when possible. Anakin uses the Force to put them to sleep. They don't kill unless absolutely necessary. These are just soldiers doing their jobs. They're not the enemy. But as they get deeper into the palace, as they get closer to the throne room, the guards get better, more alert, harder to fool. A squad of royal guards blocks their path. These warriors are different from regular stormtroopers. They're trained in the Force, in resisting mental tricks. They recognize Anakin and Ahsoka immediately for what they are: intruders, threats to the Emperor. The royal guards attack without warning. Their Force pikes crackle with energy as they thrust and slash with practiced precision. Anakin and Ahsoka ignite their lightsabers. Silver and white light fills the corridor. The battle is fast and brutal. The royal guards are skilled, perhaps the best non-Force sensitive warriors in the galaxy. But they're not Jedi. They're not Sith. They're just very good humans. Against Anakin and Ahsoka, they don't stand a chance. The fight is over in less than a minute. The guards lie unconscious or dead. Anakin and Ahsoka step over them and continue toward the throne room. The massive doors loom ahead. Anakin can feel Palpatine waiting beyond them, waiting and smiling, ready. He looks at Ahsoka. Last chance to turn back. Not a chance. She grins, though the smile doesn't reach her eyes. May the Force be with us. Always. Anakin reaches out, and the doors explode inward. Not slowly, not dramatically. Just pure kinetic force that tears them from their hinges and sends them flying into the throne room. Inside, Palpatine sits on his throne. He's not surprised, not afraid. He looks almost pleased. Ah, Lord Vader. Or should I say, Anakin Skywalker. I must admit, I did not expect you to survive Mustafar. Obi-Wan's sentimentality has always been his weakness. But I suppose I should thank him. This is much more interesting than if you had simply died. Anakin and Ahsoka step into the throne room. The doors slam shut behind them. Not physically. Through the Force. Palpatine has sealed them in. You knew we were coming, Anakin says. Of course I knew. Palpatine rises from his throne. Do you think I am blind, my former apprentice? Do you think I did not sense you moving through the galaxy, killing my servants, poisoning my empire with your pathetic rebellion? I have watched you every step of the way. Then you know why we're here. We're here to end you. Ahsoka's lightsabers are ready, to end your empire, to free the galaxy from your tyranny. End me. Palpatine laughs. You cannot end me, child. I am inevitable. I am the dark side made manifest. You might as well try to end death itself. We'll settle for ending you. Anakin ignites his lightsaber. The silver blade hums with energy that seems to shift between light and dark. Palpatine's eyes narrow at the sight of it. Interesting. You have learned to balance the light and dark, to walk the line between them. Such arrogance, to think you can master both, to think you can use me without being used. I don't need to master the dark side. Anakin steps forward. I just need to be strong enough to kill you. Then come. Palpatine's red lightsaber ignites with a snap hiss that sounds like a serpent's warning. Show me what Obi-Wan has taught you. Show me if you are truly Vader reborn, or just a shadow of my greatest creation. Anakin rushes forward. Ahsoka moves to his right, flanking. They've fought together countless times. They know each other's moves, each other's thoughts. They're perfectly synchronized. Palpatine meets Anakin's first strike with contemptuous ease. His lightsaber moves like liquid, flowing around Anakin's attack and riposting with a thrust that nearly takes his eye. Anakin jerks his head back, and the red blade passes within inches. Ahsoka comes in from the side, her white blades crossing in a scissor attack aimed at Palpatine's midsection. The Emperor spins, his robes flaring, and blocks both blades with his single lightsaber. Then he pushes with the Force. Ahsoka is thrown back, sliding across the polished floor. Palpatine is already turning back to Anakin, his attacks coming faster now, trying to end this quickly. But Anakin has spent years preparing for this moment. He's studied Palpatine's style, practiced against every technique he remembers from his time as Vader. He knows how Palpatine fights, the economy of movement, the sudden shifts from defense to overwhelming offense, the way he uses the Force to augment his physical speed beyond what should be possible for someone his age. Anakin meets every attack. His lightsaber becomes a blur of silver light. He doesn't try to overpower Palpatine. That would be playing to the Sith Lord's strengths. Instead, he matches his precision. Every strike is perfectly placed. Every defense is exactly what's needed and nothing more. Palpatine's eyes narrow as he realizes his former apprentice is not the impulsive boy he remembers. Anakin has learned patience, discipline, control, all the things Vader lacked. You have grown, Palpatine admits, his lightsaber locked against Anakin's. But growth is not enough. You lack the will to do what must be done. I have all the will I need. Anakin pushes back, and their blades disengage. You murdered my wife. You stole my children from me. You turned me into a monster. That gives me more will than you can imagine. Ahsoka rejoins the fight. She comes in low, while Anakin attacks high. Palpatine is forced to defend on multiple angles. His lightsaber moves in impossible patterns, blocking their combined assault. But for the first time, he's not attacking. He's purely defensive. The throne room echoes with the clash of lightsabers. Palpatine snarls and unleashes Force lightning. Not at Anakin or Ahsoka, but at everything. The dark side energy explodes outward in all directions. Anakin crosses his lightsaber in front of him, catching the lightning on the blade. The silver crystal seems to absorb the dark side energy, purifying it. Ahsoka does the same with her white blades. The lightning crackles around them, but doesn't touch them. Impossible. Palpatine's eyes widen. "How are you? You told me yourself." Anakin advances through the lightning storm. "I'm something caught between light and dark. I can use both, channel both. And that makes me something you can't understand, something you can't control." He breaks through the lightning, and his lightsaber slashes at Palpatine's throat. The Emperor barely dodges, the silver blade singing past his face, close enough to singe his skin. Palpatine counterattacks with a vicious series of strikes. His movements are no longer economical, no longer controlled. He's angry now, off balance. Anakin presses the advantage. He drives Palpatine back across the throne room, his attacks relentless. Each strike carries the weight of years of pain, years of loss, years of regret transformed into purpose. Ahsoka circles around, looking for an opening. She finds it when Palpatine overextends on a lunge. Her white blade cuts across his arm. Not deep, not lethal, but enough to wound. First blood. Palpatine hisses in pain and leaps back. He's breathing hard now, his age showing for the first time. "You cannot win," he says, but there's uncertainty in his voice now. "The Empire spans the galaxy. Even if you kill me, it will endure." Will it? Anakin deactivates his lightsaber. "Because I've been watching your empire crumble. Right now, across the galaxy, your officers are defecting. Your soldiers are refusing orders. Your carefully built machine is tearing itself apart. And when you die, when the dark side presence you've used to hold it together disappears, it will collapse completely." Palpatine's hand shakes as he raises his lightsaber. "Then I will simply have to ensure you die first." He attacks with renewed fury. But it's desperation now, not confidence. His strikes are wilder, less controlled. Anakin meets each one, his own movements calm and measured. He's no longer the angry young man Palpatine manipulated. He's something else, something forged in fire and loss and hard-won wisdom. Their lightsabers lock again. Anakin stares into Palpatine's yellow eyes. "You wanted me to bring balance to the Force, to be your weapon, your enforcer. You wanted Vader. Well, here I am. But not the Vader you created, the Vader I chose to become." He pushes with the Force, not just physical strength, not just dark side power, something more. Light and dark together. Balance. Palpatine screams as he's thrown across the room. He slams into his throne hard enough to crack the durasteel. He tries to rise, but Anakin is already there. His lightsaber raised, ready to end this. But he stops. The blade hovers inches from Palpatine's throat. Anakin stares down at the man who destroyed his life, who manipulated him into becoming a monster, who took everything from him. One strike. That's all it would take. One strike, and Palpatine dies. The Emperor is gone. Justice is served. But something stops him. A voice. A memory. Padme's voice from years ago, before everything went wrong. "Promise me you'll be better than what he made you." Anakin's hand trembles. The lightsaber doesn't fall. Ahsoka approaches slowly. "Anakin, whatever you're going to do it now, before he recovers. I know." Anakin doesn't take his eyes off Palpatine. "But if I kill him like this, if I execute him while he's helpless, how am I different from him? How am I better?" "You're showing mercy," Ahsoka says gently. "That's the difference. That's always been the difference. It's not mercy." Anakin deactivates his lightsaber. It's justice. Real justice. Not revenge dressed up as righteousness. He reaches down and places his hand on Palpatine's chest. The Emperor's eyes widen in fear. "What are you?" Anakin closes his eyes and reaches deep into the Force. He finds the technique he studied in ancient Jedi texts. A way to sever someone's connection to the Force without killing them. It requires perfect control. perfect balance between light and dark. Too much light, and it fails. Too much dark, and it kills. But Anakin has spent years learning this balance, years preparing for this moment. Light and dark energy swirl together in his palm. They form a pattern, a matrix, a living seal that reaches into Palpatine's very being. No, Palpatine tries to fight back, tries to use the Force to push Anakin away, but the energy is already flowing, already doing its work. No, you can't. You need me. The Empire needs me. The galaxy needs someone strong enough to rule it. The galaxy needs to be free. Anakin's voice is calm, and you need to face what you've done without your power to hide behind. The energy explodes outward. Palpatine screams. It's not a cry of pain. It's a cry of loss, of something fundamental being ripped away. When the light fades, Palpatine collapses. He's still alive, still conscious. But when he tries to call on the Force, there's nothing there. Just emptiness where infinite power used to be. What have you done? His voice is old now, fragile, just a man's voice. What have you done to me? I've taken your power. Anakin steps back. The thing you used to manipulate, to control, to destroy. It's gone. You're just a man now. Just an old, mortal man who will have to answer for his crimes. Kill me. Palpatine's eyes are desperate. If you have any mercy, kill me now. No. Anakin turns to Ahsoka. We're taking him into custody. He'll stand trial for what he's done. The galaxy will see him for what he really is. Ahsoka nods and begins binding Palpatine with Force-suppressing cuffs. The Emperor doesn't resist. He seems diminished now, smaller. The man who ruled a galaxy reduced to a prisoner. Anakin activates a comm device. It's done. Broadcast the evidence. The message goes out across every channel in the Empire, every holonet terminal, every comm system. Anakin's face appears on screens across the galaxy. Scarred, tired, but determined. Citizens of the galaxy. My name is Anakin Skywalker. You knew me as a general in the Clone Wars. Some of you might have heard rumors that I became Darth Vader. Those rumors are true. I fell to the dark side. I became the Emperor's weapon. I helped him build this empire. And for that, I offer no excuses. What I can offer is the truth. He shows the recordings Ahsoka and Mon Mothma have gathered over years. Palpatine's correspondence with separatist leaders during the Clone Wars. Proof that he manipulated both sides of the war. Evidence of Order 66. Of Palpatine orchestrating the Jedi massacre. Communication logs showing the Emperor's orders for genocide, slavery, the destruction of entire worlds. The man you know as Emperor Palpatine is actually Darth Sidious, a Sith Lord. He destroyed the Republic from within. He manipulated me and countless others into doing his bidding. He built an empire on lies and fear and the deaths of trillions. I stand before you now in the Imperial Palace. Palpatine is in custody. His power is broken. The recordings continue showing these moments. Palpatine, stripped of his Force abilities, bound and helpless. But this isn't about revenge. This isn't about one man's crimes. It's about what comes next. The Empire is broken. That's good. It should be broken. What we had before, the Republic, that was broken too. So now we have a choice. We can descend into chaos, into civil war, into 1,000 tyrants fighting over Palpatine's throne. Or we can build something better, something new. Not an empire, not the old Republic. Something that learns from both their failures. The broadcast continues for an hour. Anakin doesn't just show evidence of Palpatine's crimes. He provides a framework for what comes next. A transitional government led by senators who opposed the Empire. Elections, democratic reforms, regional autonomy. a plan for dismantling the Imperial military while maintaining enough order to prevent total collapse. He doesn't present himself as a leader, doesn't ask for power. Instead, he endorses Mon Mothma and other reform-minded senators to guide the transition. By the time the broadcast ends, the galaxy is in chaos. But it's a different kind of chaos. Not destructive, transformative. Across 1,000 worlds, people begin to realize that the Empire can actually fall, that freedom is possible. On Imperial Star Destroyers, crews hold emergency meetings. Some decide to remain loyal to the Empire, even without Palpatine. Others mutiny and arrest their officers. Most simply shut down and wait to see what happens next. On core worlds, senators scramble to position themselves for whatever comes after. Some try to seize power. Others genuinely try to help with the transition. The galaxy teeters on the edge of either a new beginning or total collapse. In the days that follow, Mon Mothma takes the lead in forming a transitional government. She's careful, measured. She includes former Imperial senators who are willing to work toward democracy. She reaches out to resistance cells and rebel groups, trying to bring them under a unified structure. She establishes committees to draft a new constitution, one with actual checks and balances, with term limits, with protections against any one person accumulating too much power. It's messy, it's slow. There are setbacks and arguments and moments when it seems like everything will fall apart. But slowly, painfully, a new government begins to take shape. The New Republic. Not a restoration of what came before. Something actually new. Anakin watches from the shadows. He helps where he can. Uses his network to facilitate communication, to prevent conflicts from escalating, to remove the worst of the Imperial diehards who refuse to accept the new order. But he doesn't take credit, doesn't seek recognition. He's content to work in the background, one more piece in a larger puzzle. The Jedi Order is reformed as well. Ahsoka takes the lead, working with other survivors of Order 66. They establish new temples, but not on Coruscant. Scattered across the galaxy, smaller and more integrated with local communities. The new Jedi are advisors, not warriors. Mediators, not generals. They serve the people, not the government. And they teach a different philosophy. Balance, not dogma. Understanding, not rigid rules. Compassion without attachment. Strength without domination. Luke and Leia are found. Obi-Wan brings them to Coruscant when he judges the time is right. They're teenagers now, 15 years old, strong and bright and full of potential. Anakin sees them approaching, and his heart nearly stops. They look so much like Padme. Luke has her eyes. Leia has her spirit. Obi-Wan hangs back as the twins approach their father. They know who he is, know what he did. Obi-Wan has been honest with them about everything. They stare at Anakin's scarred face, his mechanical limbs, the visible evidence of everything he's suffered and caused. Anakin doesn't know what to say. How do you introduce yourself to children you've never raised? How do you explain the choices you've made? So he says the only thing he can. I'm sorry for not being there, for the things I did, for all of it. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I want you to know that everything I've done since Mustafar, every choice, every fight, has been to give you a better galaxy to grow up in. Luke studies him carefully. His blue eyes, so much like Anakin's own, seem to see through every defense. Master Kenobi told us about you, about what you were, what you became, what you are now. And what am I now? Anakin asks quietly. I don't know, Luke admits, but I think you're trying. That counts for something. Leia crosses her arms. She's harder, more skeptical. Words are easy. What are you going to do now? Going to sit on a throne somewhere? Claim power because you helped overthrow the Emperor? No. Anakin shakes his head. I've done too much. Hurt too many people. The galaxy needs heroes, people to look up to. I can never be that. So what then? She demands. You just hide? You've spent your whole life making choices for other people. What makes you think you get to make that choice now? Fair point, Anakin admits. So I'm asking, what would you have me do? Help us learn. Leia's stance softens slightly. The Force, the Jedi, all of it. If we're going to help build this new galaxy, we need to understand what went wrong with the old one, and why. Luke nods. We don't have to be a family. We can't just pretend the past didn't happen. But maybe we can work together. Learn from each other. Try to make things better. It's more than Anakin expected, more than he deserves, but he takes it, gratefully. I'd like that. Over the months that follow, Anakin trains with his children. He teaches them the Force, but not the way he was taught. He shows them the seduction of the dark side, but also its limitations. He demonstrates the discipline of the light, but also its rigidity. He helps them find their own balance, their own path. Luke proves to be strong in the Force, naturally gifted, but also naturally cautious. He questions everything, thinks before he acts. In many ways, he's the Jedi Anakin should have been. Leia is equally strong, but her gifts manifest differently. She's less interested in combat, more drawn to diplomacy and leadership. She can sense emotions, read people, understand motivations. She'll be a great senator someday. Better than Padme. Better than Palpatine could ever corrupt. They trained together on Ahsoka's new temple. Not just Luke and Leia, but other Force-sensitive children. The next generation. Growing up with a different philosophy, a better way. Anakin watches them train one day. Luke is sparring with another student, their practice lightsabers flashing. Leia is mediating a dispute between two younger children. They're so confident, so sure of themselves in a way Anakin never was. You did well. Ahsoka joins him, both with the training and with stepping back. That's the hard part, you know. Not trying to control everything. I spent my whole life trying to control things. Anakin doesn't take his eyes off his children. Tried to hold on to Padme so tightly I lost her. Tried to save the Republic and destroyed it instead. All because I couldn't just let go. So now I'm learning. Ahsoka smiles. You're still teaching me things, Sky Guy. Even now. What am I teaching you? That redemption is possible. That people can change. That even the darkest fall can lead to a new beginning if you're willing to do the work. Anakin looks at her, his former Padawan, his little sister, the person who believed in him even when he didn't believe in himself. Thank you for not giving up on me, even when you should have, for pulling me back from the edge, for showing me there was another way. Thank you. I didn't do it alone. You had to want to change, had to be willing to do the hard work. I just gave you a push in the right direction. She gestures at the training grounds. And look what came from it. A new generation, learning from our mistakes. A galaxy with a real chance at peace. Your children growing up free. That's worth everything we went through. A ship arrives at the temple a few days later. Anakin senses who it is before the ramp lowers. His heart races. For years they've been separated, hidden from each other for safety. But now, with Palpatine defeated and the Empire fallen, there's no reason to hide. Padme descends the ramp. She's older. There are lines around her eyes that weren't there before. Gray streaks in her hair. But she's still beautiful. Still the woman Anakin fell in love with so many years ago. They stand 10 feet apart, neither knowing what to say. So much has happened. So much has changed. Finally, Padme speaks. You did it. You actually tore down the Empire. We did it, Anakin corrects. You, me, Ahsoka. Everyone who refused to give up. I just helped push things in the right direction. She steps closer. I watched your broadcast, saw what you did to Palpatine. You could have killed him, should have killed him, by any standard of justice. But you didn't. Why? Because you asked me to be better. Anakin's voice cracks. Years ago, before everything went wrong, you made me promise I'd be better than what he made me. I couldn't keep that promise for a long time, but I never forgot it. Padme closes the distance between them and places her hand on his scarred cheek. I knew you were still in there, somewhere under all that pain and anger. I knew the man I loved hadn't been completely destroyed. I tried to kill you. Anakin can barely get the words out. On Mustafar, I choked you. I felt you dying and I didn't stop. You were broken, she says simply. Palpatine broke you, but you put yourself back together. That's what matters. Can you forgive me? For what I did? For not being there for you and the children? I already have. Padme smiles through tears. The question is, can you forgive yourself? Anakin doesn't have an answer to that. Maybe he never will. But standing here, with Padme's hand on his face, and their children visible in the distance, he feels something he hasn't felt in years. Hope. They don't immediately become a family. The wounds are too deep for that. But they begin to build something, slowly, carefully. Padme stays at the temple, spending time with Luke and Leia, getting to know the young adults they've become. Anakin is there too, awkward and uncertain, trying to figure out how to be a father to children he never raised. It's messy. There are arguments, painful conversations about the past, moments when it seems like too much damage has been done. But they keep trying. That's what matters. Not that they get it right immediately, but that they refuse to give up. Months turn into a year, then 2. The new republic stabilizes. Democratic elections are held. Mon Mothma becomes the first chancellor, elected rather than appointed. She serves 1 term and then steps down, honoring the limits she helped write into the Constitution. The former imperial military is reformed. Some officers are tried for war crimes. Others are integrated into a smaller, more accountable defense force. The stormtroopers are decommissioned, their conscription ended. Many find work as security forces on individual worlds. Others simply try to build new lives. The galaxy isn't perfect. There are still conflicts, still inequalities, still corruption in some sectors. But it's better, measurably better than it was under either the Republic or the Empire. People have rights. Worlds have autonomy. Democracy, while imperfect, actually functions. Anakin continues his work in the shadows. He's not officially part of the government or the Jedi Order. He's just a man who helps where he can, hunting down the worst of the Imperial remnants, mediating disputes, protecting Force-sensitive children from those who would exploit them. He's not a hero. He'll never be a hero. But he's making a difference. That's enough. One day, years after Palpatine's fall, Anakin stands on a balcony overlooking Coruscant. The city world gleams in the sunlight. The Imperial Palace has been converted into a museum, a reminder of what the galaxy survived. Behind him, he can hear voices. Luke and Leia are inside, training with Ahsoka. They're Jedi Knights now, strong, capable, ready to face whatever the galaxy throws at them. Padme is there too, visiting from Naboo, where she's helping to rebuild the planetary government. They're not quite a family. The scars run too deep for that comfortable fiction. But they're something. They're trying. And that's more than Anakin ever thought he'd have. You did good, Sky Guy. Ahsoka joins him on the balcony. Really good. We did good, Anakin corrects. This wasn't just me. This was everyone who refused to accept tyranny. Everyone who fought for something better. But you were the catalyst. Ahsoka leans against the railing. You could have stayed Vader, could have served Palpatine until the end. Or you could have just hidden, let the Empire stand. But you didn't. You chose to fight, chose to change. That matters. Does it? Anakin watches a ship rise from the city, heading for orbit. I killed so many people, Ahsoka. As Vader, as the Phantom, even as a Jedi during the Clone Wars. How does anything I've done since balance that scale? It doesn't, she says bluntly. You can't undo the past, can't bring back the dead. But you can make sure their deaths meant something. You can build a galaxy where those atrocities are less likely to happen again. That's what you've done. I hope so. Anakin is quiet for a moment, for their sake. He gestures inside, where his family is gathered. They deserve a galaxy worth living in. They have it. Because of you. Because you broke the cycle. Do you think it'll last? The New Republic? This peace? As long as people stay vigilant, Ahsoka says. As long as they remember what happens when power goes unchecked. Nothing is permanent. But this, what we've built, it has a real chance. Luke calls from inside. Father, can you help me with this technique? I can't quite get the balance right. Anakin smiles. The word father still sounds strange, still doesn't quite fit. But he's getting used to it. Coming. He heads inside, leaving the balcony and the view of Coruscant behind. The galaxy is healing. Slowly, imperfectly, but genuinely healing. And Anakin Skywalker, once the Chosen One, once Darth Vader, once the Phantom, is finally at peace. Not because he's forgotten what he did, not because he's forgiven himself, but because he's spent every day since Mustafar trying to make things better, trying to build something worthy of the sacrifices made, trying to be the man Padme believed he could be. The empire he reshaped isn't built on fear, it's built on hope, on the belief that people can change, that redemption is possible, that even the darkest night can give way to dawn. And standing with his family, training his children, working to protect the peace they've built together, Anakin finally understands what balance means. It's not about choosing light or dark. It's not about being perfect or powerful. It's about doing the work every day, making the hard choices, fighting for what matters, and never giving up, even when the path seems impossible. He looks at Luke and Leia, at Ahsoka, at Padme. His family, not perfect, not whole, but there, real, surviving, building, together. This is balance. This is redemption. This is what it means to reshape an empire's future, not through conquest or control, but through choice, through sacrifice, through the stubborn refusal to let darkness have the final word. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.